Good morning, gentlemen. Nice talking to you again. I think we're going to focus on Pakistan today because Pakistan is very much in the news. It's spread all over the globe. Well, as you all know, Imran Khan was arrested from the premises of the Islamabad High Court and put in the calaboose. And to top it, the Chief Justice of the Islamabad High Court had justified the arrest. He said it's right and proper. And when Imran was in jail, his reporter have made a remark, what the hell is the CGI doing? That is the Chief Justice of Pakistan. What is he doing? And the Chief Justice has acted and they have cancelled the arrest of Imran and said that he should be released forthwith. In fact, yesterday they sent him to the guest house of the NAB, that is an accountability bureau, where he could live have a comfortable night. Now, it's a very peculiar situation. The Islamabad High Court had justified the arrest. They said it's right and proper. But the Supreme Court has set it aside. And now he has to be released. But there are wheels and wheels within Pakistan which are moving. And it's important to note that two important personages in Pakistan, that is the Army Chief General Munir, who is in the Middle East, and the Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, who is in London, are out of the country. Whether it's a ploy, we do not know. When all this drama is going on, these two important personages are out of Pakistan, and Pakistan is burning. It would have continued burning, but his release from arrest by the Supreme Court has given some respite. Now the court has directed him to report to the Islamabad High Court and put an application for bail. It is the same court which had justified his arrest. So what is the High Court going to do now? These are the legal squabbles, but the fact remains Imran has been charged with some 34 offences, some small, some big, and we do not know what is the truth in them. Because in Pakistan, nothing comes cut and dried. There's always some butter wrapped or something wrapped around it. And whoever is in power calls the shots and he sends the other man to jail. It's been happening ever since 1951. And then when General Ayub took over with a military coup and sent the then President Iskandar Mirza to exile in London and never allowed him to come back to Pakistan, so far so much that when he died, his body was also not allowed to come back to Pakistan for the last rites, and he had to be buried in Tehran. Courtesy, Reza Pahlavi, the Shenshah of Iran. Of course, he's gone now, nowhere. Gentlemen, Pakistan is in a very precarious position. And many people have asked me, भी आगे क्या होने वाला है? पाकिस्तान का आगे क्या होगा? इमरान खान तो रिलीज हो गए हैं, very correct. पर the other leaders जो हैं उनके, they are all in jail. So what is going to happen next? The battle lines are drawn, but the clear-cut battle lines drawn हो गई हैं. And frankly, the Pakistan army is on the back foot. It is disgraced. उनके जनरल अब छुप के बैठे हैं. And many of their GOC's houses have been ransacked, including that of the Prime Minister's Shahbaz Sharif. And the question is, what next? Next, I do not know what's going to happen, but I can make a hazard a guess. And that means more turmoil, more arson, more looting, because as and when the election draws nearer, the ruling dispensation under Shahbaz Sharif and his brother hiding in London, Nawaz Sharif, know pretty well that they cannot win. The charisma of Imran Khan is too much. And what is likely to happen is Imran will win if there is a fair election. But Pakistan, fair elections are something which don't take place. If you recollect, in the last election, it was rigged by the army in favor of Imran Khan. And Nawaz, who had come all the way from London, was arrested, given a lot of harassment, and finally he had to run away to London. That time, Imran was known as the preferred prime minister because the army preferred him, and later they dropped him when they realized that he is becoming too big for his boots. So, gentlemen, it's a very, very catch-22 situation in Pakistan. Imran Khan, the most popular leader, he may win the election, but the ruling dispensation, the army is not going to allow him to win and come back to power. Take it, mark my words. And the men who are responsible behind that are the Americans also. Now, America, look at America. When the opponent to the Russian prime minister was arrested, the Joe Biden and his party said that he should be freed because he is having a legitimate right of protest against Putin. Wonderful. But when Imran Khan was arrested, they didn't say anything like that. They said the rule of law must prevail. Now, what is this? How can you have two separate standards? And this just about shows what America really is, a hollow country, and India must beware of such a country. Narendra Modi is going to America, he should be very careful what he commits there, because in a war with China, which America will have to fight, India should ensure it doesn't become the pawn to fight China. Because despite all the problems with Pakistan, let's not forget the fact that for the last 56 years, the Indo-Pak border has seen no firing, no gunfights, nothing. There have been fisticuffs and fights, that's about all. And the troops of both the armies are patrolling the border unarmed as it stands. So these are the points we must bear in mind. And India shouldn't play into the hands of the Americans. Russia is already getting a little anti-India because India is a member of the Quad, and Russian foreign minister during his last visit to Delhi had made it very plain that Quad is a destabilizing force and one which creating war and tension in the Pacific and South Asia. Gentlemen, it's a very tricky situation, and I only hope Humpty Dumpty doesn't have a great fall. That is Narendra Modi. As far as Pakistan is concerned, I think you can expect a lot of more fireworks till the elections, and then there will be another rigged election, and probably whichever the party or the individual the Pakistan army wants will be voted to power and he'll win. And they will rig the election, fake the votes. They've been doing it all the time. Right from the time when General Ayub faced Fatima Jinnah for the presidential election and Ayub rigged the election. Fatima Jinnah was going to win. She was the sister of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and Ayub had panicked and he got the election rigged and won. So it's been for there since 1965. The same thing is happening. Bhutto had rigged the election also when his People's Party won, and this has continued throughout. And the last election, as you know, Nawaz Sharif would have won hands down, but the Pakistan army was very keen that Imran should win, and Imran has won, did win, but then they got wary of him, threw him out in a midnight vote with the help of the Americans. And the Americans cannot be trusted, definitely. And the CIA has been carrying all sorts of things. If you remember, in 1954-55, they carried out a coup in Iran that put the Shah back into power. It was done by the CIA. At that time, Alan Dulles, I think, was the chief of the CIA, and he had been given a carte blanche, a big budget to see that the Shah comes back to power in Iran. He did come back, lasted 2 decades, and then he had to run away with his life, and he's nowhere now. He became the footnote in history. People talk about him, that's about all. And in the bargain, America has made a perpetual enemy in Iran. Now coming down, if you remember the famous Chilean president Allende, he was shot dead in his office, courtesy the CIA. The CIA was after Che Guevara. They cornered him in the jungle in Bolivia and got him shot dead. So, gentlemen, the Americans are not lily white people. They are people which are power hungry, and they'll go to any length to see that their aims are moved forward. The Russians have blamed the Americans for the recent drone attack on the life of Vladimir Putin. I don't know if it's true or not. I can comment on it, but there is an allegation. And the Americans are fueling the war in Ukraine, and they want Pakistan back in their fold. But here is where the Americans are going to get what is known as a knockout blow, because China is the driving force now in Pakistan, and come what may, America is never able to have that sort of foothold which they had earlier in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. They're not going to have that foothold ever now. And America as a nation is disliked in Pakistan. That is another fact. Not that the Pakistanis like the Chinese. They don't like the Chinese also. They want the Chinese out. So many Chinese have been killed, and China should be careful. And the so-called, BR initiative which they have got for trade has come a cropper. It's like putting money in an abyss and nothing is coming for China. Pakistan is all fun and games as it stands. That's the way I see it. But it's not fun and games. This is a very deadly and lethal game that could lead to the death of anybody. After all, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was hanged. And tomorrow, if Imran Khan becomes too big for his boots and the army is put on the back foot, I don't know what's going to happen. Your guess is as good as mine. Let's see what happens. Whether Imran survives or no, but he's a gutsy man, he's fighting on. But his leadership is still behind bars, and they have to be released to be able to fight the election fair and square. And as I've said, there's not going to be any fair and square election. And once the election is rigged, that's what's going to happen next. That is the time when some people could take up arms. And that is what will be the beginning of the Armageddon as far as Pakistan is concerned. A fight between good and evil, and there's going to be a civil war. Gentlemen, I have no doubt in my mind that despite whatever may happen, Pakistan is heading for a civil war. Whether division or no is a secondary issue, because Americans may not like it, neither the Chinese want it. But then the forces of history are too big for either China or America, and we don't know what's going to happen. Pakistan is knee-deep in trouble, and trouble is spelled with capital letters. No economy, no progress, runaway inflation, balance of payments high, unable to pay the debts, and Pakistan overall having food shortages where people are fighting for wheat, roti and all that. खाने के लिए लड़ रहे हैं. And here is a fight on for power. Imran had his chance, I'll say this much, but he funked it up. He didn't follow it up. He talked of Naya Pakistan. The Naya Pakistan never came. And all the time he was concentrating on Kashmir. Kashmir, Pakistan, no, they're never going to get it back. Never. So why keep harping on it? Well, gentlemen, the situation is very tense in Pakistan. I've said a lot of things here. Pakistan is heading for disaster. There's no two opinions about it. And they're very learned people in Pakistan who know why it's happening, because the rich, the elite, are still living a life of wonderful comfort and enjoyment. They got millions of dollars, palatial houses all stacked up in London, Las Vegas, New York, everywhere. Even the Pakistan generals, they got a lot of money abroad. Their children abroad. Just, I think if you carry out a survey of the children of the Pakistan generals, you'll find that all of them are sitting either in Switzerland, London, or somewhere like that. So Pakistan is doomed. You know, the Hades is the land of death, and that is precisely what it is. But that is for the common man, not for the rich man. And now we'll have to watch for the election, what is going to happen. First of all, is it going to take place, or will the army come back in the driver's seat? But it won't last, because the army is now discredited and the army knows it, and that's the reason General Munir is sitting in the Middle East. Gentlemen, I'll keep a watch and keep you posted of what's happening in future. I have some contacts. I can't disclose them, but I get the feedback very fast. I will close now and say goodbye, gentlemen. Jai Hind. Glory to India. Do subscribe to my channel, share it, come back for more. Goodbye and God bless.